It is time for your weekly breakdown on the latest in entertainment, sports, pop culture, and all things Milwaukee. This is Nothing But The Truth with Melanie Ricks. Now streaming on 1017 The Truth YouTube with the witty banter, latest trends on social media, and hottest celebrity topics, here is Melanie Ricks.
What's up, y'all? Hello, hello. Welcome to the show. Happy Monday to us, but happy Wednesday to you all. My name is Mel, in the stew with the one and only Jason Smith, the Jason Smith on Instagram, but Jason Smith in real life. How you doing, Jay?
Come on now, it's Monday, TGIM. I say that Monday is the best day of the week, and everybody hop on me.
Why? Yeah, they should. Why is that?
Because you get to start the week off. This is how you started is really what matters because that set the foundation. I know they say how you finish is what matters. Well, that matters as well. How you start and set the foundation. So if you start off good, the rest of the week should be good.
Interesting. I like that. And what's crazy, y'all, Jason means that because he came at me with that energy when I walked in the studio. And I thought he was kind of like, I'm like, what are you on right now? But no, this is Jason. This is really how he feels. I like that energy, though. So when your Monday starts well, you feel like the rest of your week goes well?
I feel like the rest of the week go by splendid.
Really? I love that.
I love it.
That's
I love Mondays.
Okay. I think you are one of the few people that love Mondays, but that's okay.
I'm the only person I know that loves
You're
Mondays.
for sure the only person I know that loves Mondays. But you know what, Jason? I think it says a lot about not only your character, but the fact that you're doing what you love. You know, a lot of people dread Mondays because, let's be honest, it means you're going back to work. But you're like, I get to go to work today.
Like, you get to talk?
You get to talk for a living? I'm sorry, what?
What?
No.
That's what I got on my report card, though. Too much. Talk too much.
That part. Same. Same. Isn't that amazing? But you know what? It's all about the law of attraction. And I feel like when you attract that good energy, when you put that out there, like that energy comes back to you. So to your point, when you're telling yourself, yeah, today's going to be a great day. It's Monday. Let's go. It's the start of the week. What's up? That's going to continue to transfer to Tuesday to Wednesday and so on and so forth. So I love that. But when you're not in that headspace, it's hard to remember that. So like, let's say you're having a bad Monday. What do?
So with me, I believe in this concept called auto-suggestion.
Okay.
And what that is just constantly repeating whatever it is. Because your mind believes whatever you tell it most.
Facts.
So if you constantly just repeat. So if I'm down, which happens, I'm human.
Yeah.
Like if I'm down, I'm not feeling it, what do? I just keep telling myself, you good, you good, you good.
Thoughts become things.
It's going to be amazing, you're smart, you're brilliant, the day go great, the week gonna go great. And just kind of programming. We program our mind with all types of negative stuff.
Yes,
so why not do the opposite with positivity?
Well, and you know what, Jason? So, like, I appreciate that mental health and just, like, the idea of positive, like, affirmation, et cetera. Like, it's such a big conversation piece because what you put into your body, it matters. And what you put into your mind, what you feed your brain, that matters, too. Because if you think about it, now we're going to get deep. We're like a brain. We're just a brain. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what we are. We're a brain inside of a shell that is a human body. And so what you tell your brain, that's what you're feeding it. So you're right. When you feed yourself negativity, yeah, that's what's going to come out probably. You know what I mean? Because what goes in has to come out. So if you feed in negativity, the negativity is also going to come out. And then, unfortunately, it tends to attract other negative things around you, i.e. the law of attraction. You're onto something. I like that.
I'm trying to tell you that's what it is. And I like that. I never thought about that we are our brain
we're a brain in a body. I mean, really, though, because what else are like you can say like we're also like a soul, we're a spirit, but like in theory, we're our brain. Because once your brain no longer operates, you no longer operate.
Because our brain controls everything that our body does.
Everything. That's why and you know what, Jason? Everything you're saying, I believe, but like just like you just said to me, you're just opening up a different way of looking at it, a new perspective. So I appreciate that. Thank you for that.
Come on now, that's what we're here for. It's nothing but the truth.
Nothing but the truth. And you know what? I often think to myself, I didn't have a good Monday, I'll have a good Tuesday. But it's like, no, the day isn't over yet. You can still have a good Monday.
You can make it a good Monday.
You can make it a good Monday. Well, you know what? It's a great Monday because I'm with you in the studio.
It's a fantastic, beautiful, wonderful Monday.
But you know what? That might be the last time Jason and I agree this show because we're going to talk about something that we don't see eye to eye on.
Not at all.
Kind of crazy. Like, you seem like such a lover boy, and I mean that in the best way. You are?
I am.
You're a lover boy?
Lie.
Okay. You seem like it. But even though Jason is a lover boy, he told me that he does not believe in soulmates. And I would love to talk to you about why that is. And I want to know from those of you who are watching at home, do you believe in soulmates? So that's the question of the day. Do you believe in soulmates? Let us know in the comments. And I'm curious if this conversation will either change or keep your opinion by the end of the show. So let us know. So Jason is on team, I don't believe in soulmates. I'm on team, I do believe. So I'm curious if either of our opinions will be swayed throughout this. But first off, let me just ask you, just straight up, why don't you believe in soulmates?
Because what is a soulmate? So if we are saying like a soulmate is there's this one specific person made for you, and you're going to eventually get that one person.
Yeah.
What in the world? How do we know where that person is? I believe that love and all of that more times than not is based off of proximity. It's based off of who are you closest to. Now, obviously, you got situations where you got long distance relationships and all of that, but that's still a bit of proximity.
Right.
But however, 70 to 80% of relationships are because we live in the same state, or we live in the same city, the same neighborhood, we went to the same school.
Or you have a mutual friend or work together or something.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm seeing you constantly and constantly to the point where my brain telling me, oh man, this gotta mean something. I keep seeing. But y'all just live across the street from each other, So I think that it's more so instance of proximity of where y'all at physically, y'all physical placement, than, it's this person that's out there for me. Because if there is a such thing as soulmates, I don't think everybody finds their soulmate.
That I do agree with. I don't believe everyone finds their soulmate, but I actually don't believe that everyone has a soulmate.
I ain't never heard of this one.
That's my take on it. So I do believe in soulmates, but I don't believe everyone has a soulmate. First off, the reason why I say that, Jason, I don't think that we only get one lifetime. I just don't. And largely, like for real, the reason why I believe it is because I don't believe that there are babies who are born and then have leukemia and die at age 5. And then that's it. I don't believe that. I believe that that baby gets another opportunity. I believe that that's what was meant for them in this lifetime, but I don't think that's it. That's just my opinion. And I think because of that, not in every lifetime we get a soulmate. I don't personally, I don't think I've ever had a soulmate. I think I've been here before, and I don't think I've ever had a soulmate before. I do think I have one in this lifetime, though. I don't know who he is. I have not met him, but I think I have one. And I don't know why, but it's just like a feeling. It's an instinct. So before I talk about why I do believe in soulmates, I Googled it. Are soulmates real? And AI told us whether soulmates are real is a matter of personal belief, as there is no scientific consensus on the topic. However, the concept of it is more subjective in that people have different ideas about what it means. Some people may believe in soulmate for life, while others may believe in multiple soulmates. So, for example, I do believe in soul ties as well. You believe in soul ties?
I think I believe in soul ties.
You do. So you believe, let's say in theory, your boys or even your girlfriends, you believe y'all were meant to be friends in this lifetime, whether you believe in multiple or not. You were meant to be friends. Do you feel like you were drawn to them in some way?
I do feel like I was meant to be my friends' friends. Like, we just get each other, like, on a whole different level.
Right.
Like, we the same people. We the same person.
Right. No, and I agree with that. And I think that for those who do have a soulmate, personally, I just believe that what's meant for you will be. And I think that there are certain things in life, it wouldn't be possible for it to happen if certain people and instances and like situations didn't also occur. Example, you being born, your parents had to meet. If they didn't meet, you wouldn't be here in this body that we're currently seeing you in. You wouldn't be Jason Smith as we know it. Maybe you would be here, your brain, your spirit, however you want to say would be here, but you'd be in a different body. You may not even live in this state. You may not speak this language. You could be, you could have been born into a Chinese man's body. I'm serious. You could be, halfway across the world. Like we would have no proximity to one another. You know what I mean? But again, that's because I believe in different lifetimes. But in regards to the soulmate theory, I believe that there are people who are meant to fall in love and be an example of said love. And therefore, other people believe in love because of their example. I'm not saying that's the only reason why they're soulmates. They could be soulmates because they were meant to create something beautiful together. Beyonce and Jay-Z, I think they're soulmates. I think that the music industry is largely affected by their relationship. whether or not you want to say it's a business relationship or it truly is love, whatever you may think of it, I think they're soulmates. I think they were meant to be together in some capacity. I think Blue Ivy was meant to be here. I think the twins were meant to be here. I think that they were meant to go on the world tour that they did together. On the Run tour. There it is. I went to it. I had to remember it for a second. But like, I think that certain things in life were meant to be. Therefore, I think that their souls were meant to mate, because if they didn't, we wouldn't have had On the Run. There's probably people who went to the On the Run concert with their loved one, and then they got it on after the concert, and then a baby was born. That baby wouldn't have been born if Beyonce and Jay-Z hadn't dated. You know what I'm saying? So I think that there's so many things that are connected that it's not possible for me to believe, oh, no, that wasn't meant to be. It's just a fluke. Because if that was a fluke, then everything else that followed was a fluke. Does that make sense?
No, it makes sense. But I do think it's easier to look in retros, to look back.
I know
and
it
be
is.
like,
I know.
oh yeah, that was always that was meant to be. Like that had to have happened because like this is where you would get me confused.
Okay.
Because I do believe everything happens for a reason. I do believe everything happens the way it's supposed to happen.
Right.
But I believe it happens the way it's supposed to happen because it happened that way.
Okay.
As in, like, there is no other way for it to happen. That's why I'm big on, like, not harping on mistakes, because that quote-unquote mistake was supposed to happen. If that didn't happen, who you are right now, you wouldn't be the person that you are. So I could get what you're saying.
Yeah.
However, were Jay-Z and Beyonce literally put on this earth to get together, or were they both born individually? They got into the music industry. They both saw, hey, hold on, I can use you to capitalize. I can leverage what you bring to the table. Jay-Z like, oh, Beyonce, I can leverage what you bring to the table.
Right.
And then they build the empire.
Now, that's a great point as well. I definitely hear you. I think that because what they have done has had such a big impact on the world, I do think they were meant to be. But in regards, because I understand why you say, well, it can get confusing, because hindsight is 2020. You're right. It's so easy to say that was meant to be in hindsight. Of course, you're right. However, again, I think it's the butterfly effect. If you change one thing, you change everything, right? And so I think that there are people who are predestined, and we don't have to call it soulmate if you don't want. That's why I almost like the word or the term soul tie almost a little bit better. But I think soulmate is because they are mates in life. I do think that their souls were connected even before this, and they found one another. I do. And I think that the mate part of it is more in saying that it's a partnership, whereas a soul tie, you could be soul tied to so many different individuals. You know what I mean? But I think a soulmate, that's a one special person for you. And I do think that Beyonce is Jay-Z's special person. I do. Another example, Barack and Michelle. I think
that's a good one.
You know, you feel me? And I hate to say it, it's going to be controversial. Will and Jada. I don't know too many.
They're meant to be together.
You know? I mean, look at their parenting style. Look at the way that they deal with the media. Look at the way that they interact with their friends. You know, the do they or don't they status of their swingership, whatever it may be. Like, there's a lot of things, and that's what they say under the definition of soulmate. You tend to agree on a lot of things. You tend to see life through a similar lens. And I actually think Will and Jada are the perfect example of soulmates because they do seem very aligned in a lot of things in life. And again, that's part of, if you were to define soulmate, which there is no true definition because it's subjective, but if you were to define it, it's typically two people who are mates who just see life in a similar regard, and their souls were brought together for a greater purpose. And I'm sorry, but I don't know too many women who could put up with what Will has put Jada through, and vice versa, You know what I'm saying? I do think that their souls were meant to mate and meant to create whatever it is that they've created in their personal and public lives. What do you think about that concept?
That's a good example. But what I could say to that is, do you think they just learned each other? As in, like, they
absolutely
weren't really similar at first, maybe, but then as they got together, they like, oh, I like the way you think on this. I like the way you think on this. I like the way you do that. And now they start, because you know when relationships happen, couples start to adapt to each other's personality, habits, hobbies, all types of stuff. So that could be a reason why everything's so aligned.
Let us know in the comments. Do you know anyone? Think of a couple that you know that's in love, or there's a prime example of a couple, like a couple that you look up to, if you will. Do you feel like they are soulmates? Do you feel like they met and it was just like, wow, like I think a lot like you think a lot like me. We're very aligned in life. Do you feel that those people were meant to be? Or do you think you could see either one of them with other individuals who maybe think similarly, who maybe see life similarly, but obviously it'd be a different version of that relationship because they would be with other individuals? Because now I'm trying to think. Jimmy Carter and Rosalind Carter. So Jimmy Carter is 100 years old, which, fun fact, I don't know if anyone knows this, he's the first president to ever reach that age. No president has ever lived to be 100 years old. So shout out
legendary.
to that's OG status. A lot of people say that they were soulmates. And, you know, when you look back in history, as far as like just like powerful couples, there's so many in which, I mean, honestly, yeah, there's a lot that I can think of, really. There's so many that come to mind, but there's a lot that I can think of in which I can't imagine one doing it without the other. But you bring up a good point, which is like, is it that they learned one another? Is it that they taught one another? But Jason, I'm gonna ask you the question. Is there a couple that comes to mind? It's okay if you can't think of right now, but a couple that comes to mind where, or a non-couple where you're like, dang, so-and-so would be really good together. They just need to meet. Even if it's not people that you know personally, but like, is there anyone in your life, whether they're a couple or not, that you've ever thought like, dang, if they met, or yeah, because they met, like they were meant to be together because they already think so similarly? Because you do bring up a really good point. And I do think it's a little bit of adjusting to your partner. But I also think like, I've had friends who have set other friends up because they're like, oh, you would get along. And then they end up getting married. And I think that's a soulmate. I mean, it's hard not to think that. But what do you think?
A great, because you brought some great examples. Like the Jay-Z Beyonce was great. The Michelle Obama and the Barack one was crazy.
Come on.
Like that one had me really like thinking. And then the Will and Jada was amazing. I think of LeBron and Savannah.
Yes.
I think of LeBron and Savannah.
Yes.
That is a perfect example of black royalty, black love, like black family.
Yes.
That's the epitome, I feel like, of what, you know what I'm saying, we should be striving for.
Yeah.
So I do think if they were to be soulmates, them, and then it's people in my family. I'm not gonna lie, like I got a cousin Tia, my cousin, and her husband, cousin Peter. I just feel like they two peas in a pod.
Yeah,
like I can't even imagine life without them being together. So I think I get stuck on semantics.
Yeah.
I think I get stuck on the soulmate part because I do believe in soul ties. I do believe that people are meant to be in your life regardless. Like you do have a certain amount of people who are meant to be in your life.
Right.
I think I don't believe in just the soulmate as in like one lover specifically meant for you.
Let us know in the comments. Do you believe that you just get one love? Because like Jason, you're right. But also, if you think about it, every relationship except for one will fail. You know, unless you end up being widowed, which God forbid. But like in theory, most relationships will fail except for one. What do you say in response to that?
I mean, that is true. But it all depends on the situation.
Yeah.
Like for example, if I'm in 5 relationships and all 5 of those relationships fail, and I'm 70 years old,
right,
and I finally get another wife, and I stick with her and I love her. Did I have to wait till 70 to find my soulmate, or
did you already find your soulmate?
You feel what I'm saying?
I do. So I was wondering, where do we even get the term soulmate? And it was first used in the year 1822, at least like from what we, as far as written history goes, it was used in 1822 by a poet named Samuel Taylor Coleridge, and he wrote it in a letter. And in the letter, he said, quote, "To be happy in married life, you must have a soulmate." However, imagery of soulmates can be traced back to Plato's Symposium, which was a dialogue written around 385 BC. So the term has existed for thousands of years. However, using it as like more in like the modern sense that we know it to be, that was about 200 years ago. But it's been around for thousands of years to that point. And I think, honestly, Jason, it's almost as if we need like some sort of like romantic and spiritual belief that there is someone for us. Because I think at the end of the day, most people fear being alone. And I think there's almost like a comfort in believing that there's one person out there for you. Do you think that the reason why you don't believe in that, is it because you don't believe that there is a love for everybody? Like, why don't you believe in the concept as of now?
So I think it's love out for everybody.
Okay.
I just don't think that it's one specific person for that. Like, you can go find love. You can go find somebody you love and you want to marry, you want to have kids with, spend the rest of your life with.
Right.
But I just don't know if it's that one specific person. I would more so look at timing. And just look at the way, I guess if I say the way the universe aligned, I guess you would say that soulmate. But I look at more so the timing of the situation. Like, I think a lot of stuff just happened at the right time. Like, I ran into this girl at the right time. Was this girl, did God literally create this woman just for me? I don't know about that. But I do think that I met her at the right exact time, and then we made something happen. But I would say I believe it's love for everybody.
Yeah.
I just don't think that it's just one specific person
Right.
for another person. Like,
Yeah.
just one specific, like, I made God design this girl perfectly for you. I just don't know about that one.
Okay. And I love that you said the timing. I definitely want to get into that. But real quick, could you see Savannah James with anybody else?
It's crazy because I cannot. But what I can say to that is we can't, because it's been 20 years.
I know.
She been with Bron since what, high school?
Literally, yeah.
So I mean, that's all we know. Like, all we know is Michelle and Barack.
True.
You know what I'm
True.
saying?
Good point.
I guess we know a little bit about Tupac.
Right.
But some people say, was Tupac really Jada soulmate?
Right.
Ooh,
Yes,
I
they
didn't
do.
think about that one.
That's a good point. Oh, I like that. I forgot about that. You're right. And that's what they like, because that's what Jada low-key said.
That's what I'm saying.
Which is disrespectful. But anyway, by the way, in that letter, just getting into what you said about the timing versus the person, in that letter that he wrote where he said to be happy in married life, you must have a soulmate. He was actually, I don't know if I want to say before his time, but essentially in the 1800s and really before then, it was about love, but it was more about convenience. It was more about, like, let's procreate. You know, this is what you're supposed to do. And so the reason why they cite him as one of the earlier, like, users, if you will, of the term soulmate is because he said in order for you to have a successful marriage, it's about more than just economic or social compatibility, which I really love because it is about, like, having that deeper connection. Do you think that you're able to have a deep connection with someone and still not consider them your soulmate? Because I've had deep connections until I don't anymore. You feel me? Like,
Yes.
I feel like everybody has a deep connection until it fizzles.
I done had girls. Listen, I done had girls I thought I was about to marry. In the
You feel me?
I'm thinking, listen, I'm good for life.
Facts.
Like, this I'm good.
Facts.
She all I need.
Yeah.
Everything is perfect.
Yeah.
But
And
then time go on.
And then time happens.
And as time go on, you start to realize, ooh, I don't know.
Nah.
Because, like, obviously when you first get into the relationship or the situation or whatever it is, everything is perfect.
Of course.
Everything is roses. I mean, you find an excuse for all the red flags, like, oh, no, it's good. Boom, boom.
Yep.
But as time go on, them red flags get too red to ignore. They get too big to ignore. They waving right in front of your face and you can't even see. You trying to duck. It's none. You can't escape it. So it get to a point where, in all honesty, you can build a deep connection with anybody. All you got to do is sit and talk. If you sit and talk with somebody and they are willing to listen and be receptive and they able to do the same thing, you go build a deep connection.
Jason, I build deep connections with women that I meet in the girls' bathroom when
That's
we go
what I'm
out.
saying.
Okay. I know strangers who I've built deep connections with. Okay.
Like, listen, I can walk outside that Third Street Market Hall and get to know everybody's deepest fears, secrets, and what they want to do for the rest of their life.
Yes, exactly. No, you are valid. But, like you mentioned, is it the timing? Is it the person? But I think, like, it's divine timing, Jason, because even when you meet, like, a situationship, like you just said, I still get something out of that situationship. Right? I learned something about myself, something I learned about my wants, my needs, my desire, whatever it may be. But to your point, do you feel like there's a world that exists, going back to not that point, but also the point that you made originally where proximity is a thing? Do you really think there's a world where you have a soulmate in Anchorage, Alaska, but you may never meet her because she's in Alaska? Like, do you really believe that?
If the concept of soulmate was real, I don't see how that would be out the picture. I think that would have to be included. Because if you're talking about a person made for you, it don't say a person made for you in the same city or the same state. It just say the same person, and there's 8 billion people around this world. My soulmate could be in China right now, kicking it with something. Like, you feel what I'm saying? How are we supposed to know? I think that we get in a relationship, we meet that person, we just happy, and everything is good, and we convince ourselves, oh, God made this person just for me. But really, God just made the person. God made you, and y'all figured it out.
Facts. No, I hear you. But, like, okay, do you think that it is about finding, like, just in general, when it comes to relationships, is it about finding the right person, or is it about finding a person at the right time? Let us know in the comments. That's a question. Let us know in the comments. Is it about finding the right person, or is it about finding a person at the right time? Because those are two very different concepts. What do you think?
That got me thinking. But that got me thinking. I'm not gonna lie, Bill. But no, I would say, because like the person matters regardless in both situations.
Yep.
That's why I mean you kind of have to pick the person, because no matter what, it happens. Like so, even if you saying that a soulmate is based off of an individual person,
right?
Obviously, she or he or whatever, they do something that makes you feel like y'all are so compatible that God made y'all to be together.
Right.
And then with timing, timing is good, but listen, if you don't meet the right person, the timing don't matter. You feel what I'm saying? Like, it could be perfect timing, but if I'm meeting, so for example, if I'm broke and I don't got nothing, and I run into another broke person,
right?
I mean, you know, but she make me happy, she make me laugh, she give me all that. I guess that's cool, but if we not aligned on our values and our goals, like, listen, economics is important to me.
Right.
But say I'm broke, and I say I'm Kanye West when I'm in debt $53 million. You know what I'm saying? I run into Kim Kardashian.
Right.
And it's all, we don't say I love her, we good. And she got resources to help me. I got resources to help her, because what he did with Kim with the Skims, and oh my God, he helped build Kim up to a whole nother megastar. And you see, it all worked out perfectly.
Right.
I would say that was a case of perfect timing and perfect person. And you see, they not together no more. They not no soulmates.
Jason, you snapped because, listen, first off, I actually do believe that Kanye and Kim are soulmates. What they have created, they've changed, I mean, celebrity, everything. They've changed everything. They've changed the idea of business relations. They've changed the idea of what a reality, what a porn star is. Sorry, Kim, let's call it what it is.
She is famous from a sex tape.
Come on. I mean, come on. He put her on, not only on the map, he put her on the globe. He put her on the cover of Vogue.
She's a billionaire now. It was one point where they were both billionaires.
He transformed that entire Kardashian name. May he rest in peace. People were not looking at the Kardashians and saying those are the children of Robert Kardashian. That's not what they were known for. They were never known for that.
People to this day don't even know that their dad was O.J. Simpson lawyer.
You know? I'm just saying. Kanye and Kim, I do believe they were soulmates because they created those beautiful children. The way that they have affected our landscape as far as like what we consume, our ideology or ideas, I'll say, beauty of like livelihood. You know, and by livelihood, I mean like being a social media influencer. By beauty, BBLs and lips and you know what I mean, and contouring. I mean, so many things that sure existed in a small scale. I'm not saying they didn't create that stuff, but they are the ones that magnified it. They're the ones that made it like so conceptual that like it became something tangible. Like we could touch it, we could feel it, we could get it on our own, we could do it ourselves because they brought it to our homes for us. And then not only that, he transformed, I think, what it means to be a celebrity. I think that she was his muse and he took it to the moon. You know what I'm saying? And then again, their children. I don't think that their children weren't meant to be here. I think every single one of those kids were meant to be here. And those kids are going to create their own kids. And you know what I mean? It's going to continue, so on and so forth. But the extra reason why you snapped is because it gets into another question. Because Kim, I remember famously was like, no, he's just my friend. I'm not really into him. No, it's just Kanye. That's just Ye. Well, he wasn't Ye at the time to her, but like, that's just Kanye. And he liked her more. He was the one chasing her. And that's something that I've learned. My guy friends have told me, when you're in a relationship as a woman, you should be the one being chased. They tell me it's better to be the one that is being doted on more, the one that's liked more. And I say, why, guy friend? And they say, because guys, in theory, don't have a biological clock. In theory, have more options because they don't have a biological clock. And guys are not as emotionally invested typically as women. Therefore, when you do meet a guy that you like, you want him to be a guy that likes you more. And it's so interesting, Jason, because I find that very simple in thought, very difficult in execution, because again, like us women, we're very emotional creatures. You guys are too. You are too. But I think that y'all think with a different brain than we do. You feel me? And I think when it comes to relationships, us women are very quick to, you said before, you'll meet somebody and have a deep connection and you think that's your wife and da-da-da. Jason, we can meet a man at the grocery store who asks for our number and think that's our husband. I'm serious. Like, Jason, it's bad. But that being said, I love that you brought up Kim and Kanye. Not only do I think they're soulmates, I think it worked because he was the one chasing her. Do you believe that men should be the one doing the chase? Oh, you do? Okay, you're gonna.
Your friends are 100% right.
Why?
Like I want to be the chaser. In all honesty, I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes it don't really feel right when the girl chasing you.
Why?
I wonder. I don't even know why it don't feel like it don't feel right. Like I would much rather be the pursuer. I want to be the one. Like, well, especially how I view women. Like,
a prize. It's like a prize.
I want to be the prize. Yeah. Exactly. Like I want you to understand who you are. Like your divineness.
Yeah.
So, and when you're talking about women are more emotional creatures. There's actually a book called The Way of the Superior Man. Now, it is pretty controversial.
I've seen.
However, it breaks down feminine and masculine essence. So feminine essence is more so emotional. They are more so, like you say, emotional creatures. They get more so emotionally invested. They are ruled by emotions.
Yeah.
Where masculine essence is ruled by logic and strategy. More so. We rule more so by purpose and stuff like that. And feminine essence is run by love. Now, men and women both have masculine and feminine essence. It's all about which one outweighs the other.
Right.
So you can have a masculine woman and a feminine man, and that's gonna work because it balances itself out. You can have a masculine man and a feminine woman, and it's gonna balance itself out. So I do believe that whoever the masculine is, whoever has the masculine essence, should be the pursuer, should be the chaser, and whoever has the feminine essence should be the one getting chased and getting pursued.
Okay. It makes sense. It really does. But I, for once, need you to mansplain this to me. Because I want to talk about the psychology behind that. Because a lot of people do say that relationships tend to be more stable when the man is more invested than the woman. Now, before we get into like you mansplaining that concept to me, let me just ask you a real simple question. Why is it that y'all get afraid when we become invested in? Because I feel like as soon as we become too invested, whatever that looks like, why do y'all run?
This is crazy because that's very true.
I know.
And I know, obviously, the commitment part of it, because it's scary. That commitment part gets scary because it's like you get to a point where like, whoa, I'm gonna have this one girl for like forever. Like this it. Like this it. Like you gotta lock in.
Right.
That's why when a dude get into a relationship and he a faithful dude and he like obviously wants you, bro, you gotta keep that.
Yeah.
And they made a good point about the biological clock. You gotta I didn't even think about that.
That's a real
brilliant point.
Yes.
We don't run out. Like it don't matter. I could be 70 years old and it still be good.
Right.
So I think that when it comes to when a girl get too invested or start moving stuff too fast, that commitment is scary. Very, very scary. And I think, man, overall, I don't want to generalize, but I think a lot of men have problems with commitment.
I do too. Very much so. Let us know in the comments. Do you think that relationships tend to be more stable when the man is more committed? For the record, I'm not saying that women should have a foot out the door. I'm not saying that because I think us women, first of all, Jason, let's be honest, most women are going to be committed. If you're committed to her, she's going to commit to you.
But that's why he got to be more, because the woman, more likely or not, is going to be committed.
Facts.
So it's dependent on the man. If he willing to be as committed as you or hopefully more committed than you, y'all chilling.
I agree. But there are so few women out there who think like a man. Shout out Steve Harvey. Like that's tough. And he's brilliant for writing that book. Act like a lady, think like a man, whatever that title is. He's brilliant for that because it's true. y'all want us to act like a woman, but y'all want us to think like a man. And it sucks, Jason, because I hate to say it, I'm a feminist. I'm girl power all the way. I'm all about empowering my women. I think that we are boss ladies. I'm gonna say it a different word. But that being said, I also do think that it is a little bit of a chess game. And like, I don't mean to trivialize it in the sense of like, oh, we just playing games and da-da-da. But I think it is strategic, like you guys are. Like you said, I think that there's strategy to it. But then bringing this back to the forefront, should there be strategy if there's a soulmate involved? Like, if that's your soulmate, shouldn't it be easy?
But that's my point. Our soulmate's real.
Right.
Because it's always a game of chess. No matter what. I look at life. Life is a game. Like,
Facts.
all of this is a game. Chess is a perfect example.
Facts.
And that's the same thing with love. It's all a game. So do you really have a specific person made for you, or are y'all just playing the same game at the same time?
Facts. Do you think that this is just a chess game, and do you think women have to be strategic? So I'm be honest, it's annoying. It's annoying pretending like you don't care. Like, I think for us women, we want to be able to say, I've been thinking about you all day. But like, I think y'all get scared. Like, why? Right?
We like, hold on. Whoa, I just left you. What you talking about?
That's funny. Less is more, though, ladies. I'm sorry. Less is more. You got to leave him wanting more. That's why they say distance makes the heart grow fonder. It's true.
Very true.
It's very true.
When a girl don't be texting back right away and doing all that,
yeah,
I'm checking my phone. Hold on, what's going on? Why she ain't text me back?
Right.
But then if she texting too much, then it's like, because it loses novelty, it loses mystique. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, we gotta need, especially in the beginning, before y'all even get together, we want to keep that mystique.
Right. No, I definitely agree with that. Do you think that in a relationship, men or the person with the more masculine energy, to Jason's point, do you think they should love the woman or the feminine energy more? Let us know in the comments, because I do agree. I think that women, we naturally love harder because we are emotional creatures. And like you said, I think men are more logical. I think that men just think differently, and we're just, I don't know, we're built different in that way. But if soulmates do exist, does that all go out the window? Like, you know what I mean? Like, is this even a relevant question? Because if soulmates do exist, which we don't know, but like if they do, it shouldn't matter. Like, I would imagine that the love is equal, right?
It should be if it was soulmates, and it should just happen. So the fact that it don't just happen, and you still got to maneuver, and you still got to find ways to compromise and do all of this, because y'all still two completely different individuals.
Right.
So that's why I don't know, Mel. I believe in soul ties.
Yeah.
But I don't believe in soul mates.
Okay. I still believe in soulmates. And you know what, Jason? I'm going to use your logic of the thoughts becoming things. And I'm going to keep telling myself, like, yeah, you do have a soulmate. You do have somebody. You know what I mean? Because I don't necessarily feel like I need to agree with everything my partner says or does. But I meet a lot of men in my industry. I do. And it's so easy to like fall for like, you know, the guy that flaunts whatever this, whatever that. But like, it's so much deeper than that. It's about the connection, and it's about like, you know, the future you want to build together and all of that. And I do think that you'll just know when you talk to somebody, you'll just know if that's your person, if that's your soulmate. Or as Jason said, maybe it's just your soul tie. And that could be somebody who's supposed to be your mate or your friend or whatever it may be. But let us know. Do you think that soulmates exist? And has your mind changed since the beginning of this conversation? Are you team Jason or are you team Mel? Team Mel. Let us know. Let us know in the comments. Really appreciate all of you for tuning in to Nothing But The Truth with Melanie Ricks. I really enjoyed this conversation with you.
This was a good one.
It was a good one. We'll have to revisit this one in the future. But let us know what you think. In the meantime and in between time, hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. By the way, today is the start of the Bucks season. They are starting on the road in Philly. And I say today because it'll be Wednesday when this drops. So go Bucks, fear the deer. Let's get that win. But until we see you next time, I hope you all have a great rest of your week. And remember, make every day like Monday. Make it great. Bye, y'all.